Hi guys, I'm Kathy. This story is about my now ex-husband and ex-BFF. No, they didn't betray my trust and have an affair. Only my husband Zyler betrayed me. My BFF was already an ex-friend when this happened. That's right, my ex-BFF Penelope had always been a boyfriend stealer. She did it in high school and college. Those were the only two relationships I had before Zyler. The first time she did it, I forgave her. She said, "Kathy, I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. You got a boyfriend before me and I was jealous. I am so much more beautiful than you, but still, you managed to get a boyfriend before me? It made me mad. I wanted to steal him from you to boost my confidence. What you did was unforgivable, Penelope. He was my first boyfriend, and you managed to ruin it in 6 months. I don't know how I will ever forgive you again. How could you be jealous of your own best friend? Look, you don't have to be so hard on me. I did you a favor by removing a cheater from your life. Our friendship means more than boys. Let's just leave this in the past. I promise I won't do it again." I was naive and kept her in my life. She has been my friend since we were in diapers. I couldn't just cut her off, so I continued having her in my life, and she continued stealing my crushes and boyfriends. I did confront her in college when she ended my relationship of 3 years. I said, "What is wrong with you, Penelope? You promised not to do these things again. Still, you cheated with my boyfriend? For years you have been taking away every boy I like. You never keep them around for long, but still take them from me. Why do you keep doing this? Don't blame me for your incapability, Kathy. You just don't know how to keep a boyfriend. It's not my fault your men like me more than you. If you were not some prude like this, maybe at least one would have been loyal." It was that moment that I knew she did everything out of malice. She couldn't stand to see anyone choose me over her. So she did everything she could to take them away. She never had a serious relationship with them. Penelope just wanted to ruin my relationship and make sure I knew she could get all my boyfriends. I cut her off permanently after that. I moved away after college, and I met Zyler at work. He was a wealthy man with a heart of gold. We fell in love and married after 3 years of dating. Zyler was my dream come true, and the only man I trusted. We had 2 blissful years of married life. Tyler knew about Penelope and promised never to cheat on me like the others did. I really did believe him. It was a huge mistake. One day, I found a very mysterious text from an unknown number. I had no idea who it was until I read the text carefully. It only said, "Watch out." The text was also signed by the letter P. At first, I had to rack my brain to see what the hell this cryptic text meant. Then, it finally clicked in my head. It was freaking Penelope! She was the only one who could send me texts like this. I knew that specifically because she had done this before. I was immediately on alert and began to panic a little. I was paranoid that she had somehow gotten my details and was after Zyler, but I was still blindly trusting him not to break my heart. I never told Zyler about the text from Penelope. I was so down the well of anxiety that telling him seemed terrifying to me. Surprisingly, he never noticed any change in my behavior. I began to realize that he had been acting a little distant for the last month. I had no idea why. At first, I thought it might be due to work, but the recent text from Penelope made me have some doubts. So, I decided to look up his texts. We had given each other permission to check our phones, but I never did before. What I discovered on his phone confirmed my worst fears. Zyler was cheating on me with somebody named Penny. The texts I discovered were horrible. They said, "So, when are you planning to leave your wife? I'm getting a little impatient here. Do you have plans to stay with that barren woman for the rest of your life?"
"I've already told you this, Penny. I will divorce Kathy. Said she can't give me children. I have been very resentful of her. I managed for the past year, but now I know that I can do better."
"But you're not doing anything to leave her, Zyler. How do I know you're serious about me?"
"Penny, you are literally the most perfect woman I have ever come across. Trust me, I love you. Just give me some time to plan everything. I don't want Kathy going psycho over me."
The way they talked about me was disgusting. Zyler never started the rude comments, but he didn't stop the discussion either. Penny said some very mean things about me, and it highlighted all of my weaknesses. It was like she knew me that well. In my head, I knew that it was Penelope. It had to be her. The pain and shock of my husband cheating on me was crushing me. Apparently, they had been sleeping with each other for months. Only recently Zyler had confessed his love and told her his plans to leave me. I felt sick to my stomach. I struggled to keep a neutral face when Zyler got out of the shower, dressed, and went to work. After he left, I cried and cried for a long time. I canceled going to work simply because I wasn't in the condition to face people. I also didn't have anyone to talk to. I kept crying throughout the day until there were no more tears left. When I was done feeling sad, I started to get very angry. I have had enough of being taken advantage of. I wasn't going to be a weak woman anymore. I knew I was going to divorce Zyler. So I let him carry on the affair. If it was really Penelope, he would get his karma soon enough. Meanwhile, I prepared myself for the divorce and kicked out all the sadness I was feeling. I needed to keep a poker face so that Zyler didn't find out. Things were normal for a month before Zyler approached me. When I was back for work, Zyler was waiting for me in the living room. He had some papers laid out in front of him. I immediately knew what he was going to say. Instead of bursting into tears like I did before, I kept a neutral face and sat next to him. He looked at me solemnly and said,
Kathy, I'm sorry, but we need to talk about something. It's really important, and I hope you take this seriously. I want out of this marriage, Kathy. I don't think I can do this anymore.
What the hell do you mean, Zyler? Are you leaving me?
Yes, I actually filed for divorce and talked to a lawyer. I don't want a separation. I simply want a divorce. I'm sorry to say this, but I have finally found my soulmate. I don't think I am in love with you anymore.
So, you cheated on me, didn't you? Now you want to go marry the girl of your dreams?
Don't take this the wrong way, but she gives me everything you don't. I want a family in the future, Kathy. And I know you can't give me that as well. This woman is just perfect for me in all aspects. I hope you understand that I just can't continue this marriage anymore.
I understand, Zyler. I don't want to be with anyone who doesn't love me. And I have zero tolerance for cheaters. I guess you know that from my past.
I swear I didn't mean to hurt you like that. It just happened and I can't help it. I do love this woman a lot. Her name is Penny, and she is just everything to me right now. Please don't make this hard for me.
I won't make it hard for you, Zyler. Trust me. I feel disgusted knowing that I still have to wait for a few months for the divorce, so I will agree to a mutual divorce. But I want proper compensation for the damage you have done.
Don't worry about that, Kathy. I know you deserve this much. You can take whatever you want. I won't fight you. I simply want to start over with my new woman. I have the means to build my assets back. You can take what you want.
That's exactly what I wanted to hear from Zyler. Yes, I knew that he had the means to expand his assets again, so I went for it all. I wanted half of his house, his savings, and a nice alimony for myself. Since I earned less than him, getting alimony wasn't a problem. As for the rest, Zyler signed away everything. He was in a hurry to get me out of his life after all. It made me feel small, but I also reminded myself that a man like Zyler shouldn't make me feel inferior. He was the one who broke our vows and cheated, and I smiled knowing that his fantasy world would soon come crashing down. After everything was finalized, I was ready to move out of his house. I say our house, not because we are still married. I say our house because we got divorced and now I own half of it. We plan on selling the place and splitting the profits. He will keep the furniture. Now I have already rented myself an apartment so I can move into that place. So, the final night I was in the house, Zyler planned a small meetup for which was actually a reunion that he didn't know about. He came to me and said,
I see that you have everything packed. Are you going to move out tonight?
Yes, Zyler. I wanted to get out of the house as soon as possible. Since the divorce has been settled, I have no reason to stay here anymore. I already sent most of my stuff with the movers this morning. I only have a bag left.
Since you're moving out tonight, I have invited Penny over to the house. I want you to meet her once. I hope you don't say no.
Oh, I would love to meet her, Xyler. I do want to see who stole my loving husband so swiftly. Don't worry, I will be civil, but I can't guarantee you that your girlfriend will be.
She is a great girl, Kathy. You will have no problems with her. I have already invited her over since she wants to meet you too.
I was thrilled to hear that Xyler and Penelope had made this arrangement. I wanted to see Xyler's face when the truth would be revealed, and I wanted to see Penelope to tell her what I have in store for her. It was going to be a fun night. I had some doubts if the girl he was bringing was really Penelope, but in my heart, I knew that it would be her. The clock struck 7 p.m. and our doorbell rang. Xyler excitedly went to receive his new girlfriend and bring her over to me. I was bursting with excitement, and so was he. When the girl of his dreams finally came to see me, something came over me. I laughed when I saw her face. Karma had finally played out. Xyler fell into a trap I had laid out for him, and Penelope would soon receive her karma as well. When I was laughing at Penelope, Xyler looked extremely confused. Meanwhile, my ex-best friend looked down and didn't say anything. He started to get angry at me and said,
"Why the hell are you laughing at my new girlfriend, Kathy? Are you that jealous and want to humiliate her like this?"
Seriously, Xyler? You think I would be jealous of the woman who can only steal my partners and can't get one by herself? Don't insult me, Xyler. She is no match for me at all.
What the hell are you saying? Penny is not your ex-best friend. You need to be a little less obsessed with Penelope.
I'm not the one obsessed with her, Xyler. I see that Penelope is the one who is obsessed with me. She followed me here and stole my husband for nothing. Very creepy, I must say. As for you, dear Penelope, when were you going to tell him the truth?
Why the hell are you calling Penny Penelope? That is not her name. My girlfriend is not your psycho friend.
No, this one is not like my friend Xyler. In fact, she is my friend. Why don't you ask your Penny here and find out if I'm lying? Xyler confidently looked at Penny or Penelope while she refused to meet his eyes. I guess that's the moment when it clicked in his head. He got played by Penelope for nothing. The girl of his dreams didn't exist. Instead, this one was a true psycho who used him to hurt me. He was nothing to her. Penelope proved that in a few minutes. Xyler screamed at her and said,
"You are Penelope! You lied to me for months saying that you are Penny! So all the details of your life are fake too? You played me, you little witch!"
I wasn't the one who cheated on his wife, Xyler. Yes, I'm Penelope. You never asked my full name anyway. Kathy, did you see how I stole your husband as well? You are not a match for me. I told you I will always be better than you. You bagged a prize, Penelope. Trust me. I have to thank you for taking away this cheater from me. If it hadn't been you, it would have been someone else. Actually, you did me a great favor by taking away all the cheaters from my life. You're only saying this to save your face. I bet you're crushed inside to see us together. You're trying to hide it. Oh, trust me, Penelope. I'm not crushed at all. Thank you for giving me a heads up when you went after my husband. That helped me cope with the initial grief while you two sagged each other. At this moment, Xyler realized that I knew about this affair all along. He was stunned to know I didn't do anything to stop him. I guess he had expected me to scream at him and tell him to stop. He never thought I would know about his affair and hide the information from him. He said,
"Wait a minute. You knew about this? Why didn't you stop me? You knew I was being lied to and manipulated by Penelope. You let her destroy my life for nothing."
Why the hell would I stop her, Xyler? You are the one who decided to reply to her flirtatious texts. Even if it wasn't Penelope, you were still going to cheat on me, Xyler. So instead of saying anything, I let you go.
You could have told me, Kathy. You let your ex-best friend ruin our lives? You let her trick me into an affair. This is not fair.
You're the one who destroyed your life, Xyler. No one told you to go and entertain a woman who was flirting with you. You chose Penelope over us. This is your fault completely. See, Kathy, no one wants to be with you. You stayed with this man for years, but still, he chose me over you. No one can love you, and everyone falls in love with me. Is that why you're still single, Penelope? good luck trying to keep a cheater like Xyler. I guess you two were made for each other. And Xyler, I signed the divorce papers. You're free from me now. As for you, Penelope, I will be suing you for alienation of affection. I have all the proof. And you have gotten away with stealing my boyfriends for a long time. Well, guess what? When you steal someone's husband, there will be consequences. Be ready to face the heat. Consider this as a friendly heads up just for old time's sake. Penelope started to shout at me while I took my bag and left. Surprisingly, Xyler held her back before she could run after me. They started to scream at each other while Xyler called her a homewrecker and a cheater. It's funny how he pinned all the blame on her. I was just glad that I got rid of a cheater without working too hard to get my rightful divorce settlement. I got into my car and drove off to the house I had rented for myself. I had also planned to buy my own place once the house was sold. The next day, Xyler was at my door begging for forgiveness. After last night, Penelope showed her true face to Xyler. She turned psycho and destroyed his things because he called her names. I missed out on all the fun. I truly would have enjoyed the two cheaters destroying each other. What a shame. Xyler has apparently pressed charges against Penelope for destroying his things. We have cameras in the living room, so he had solid proof. Tyler now wanted me to go home and try to work on our non-existent marriage. He said,
Kathy, I made a huge mistake. Trust me, Penelope manipulated me in the worst way possible. She used all my insecurities against me and painted you in a bad light. She knew about your weaknesses and used them against me.
I know, Xyler. I saw those texts where she called me a barren witch and made fun of me. I also clearly remember seeing you join in on the fun and berate me for not being able to have kids.
It was all a mistake, Kathy. You have no idea how much I regret divorcing you. Trust me, if I could, I would have taken it back in a heartbeat.
You're only saying this because the girl you cheated on me with turned out to be a liar. You came back to me because the girl of your dreams doesn't exist. You wouldn't have given me a backward glance if Penelope was really Penny. You were so in a hurry to divorce me that you gave me a big part of your assets in divorce. You were that desperate.
I don't regret losing my assets, Kathy. I just want us to get back to what we were. There is still time to stop the divorce. Or we can start again and see where this goes.
No, Xyler, you know that I don't give second chances to cheaters. I will sue Penelope for destroying my marriage, but I also thank her for showing me what a piece of shit you are. There is no going back for us anymore. You need to stop showing up at my door or contact me. If you keep harassing me, I will go to the cops and get a restraining order. Xyler begged and pleaded with me to get back with him. He even cried like a child to get me to change my mind. It gave me some peace to know that he got what he deserved. I felt no sadness for him. He was just getting his karma. He deserved this and more. As for Penelope, that stupid woman still texted me and called me to gloat about the affair, even after Xyler left her and pressed charges against her. She continued to show that she had won. But karma was coming for her too. That night, Penelope was picked up from her rented apartment by the cops. Xyler did go to the police and press charges for destruction of property. Along with that, she was served by my lawyer for the lawsuit I was filing against her. My lawyer arrived just as the cops showed up. He gave me the glorious details about how Penelope freaked out at everyone. She locked her door and kept screaming at everyone to leave her house. The cops had to break in and arrest her nasty butt. Guess they will add more charges onto her for resisting arrest. Months went by, and I won the lawsuit against Penelope. Even Xyler won his case against her. The total money Penelope owed was way too much for her. So, she was promptly thrown into prison for a few months and asked to do community service for a lot longer. She already had no friends, and her own family now completely abandoned her. Her mom reached out to me and apologized for her daughter's behavior and not intervened sooner. I told her that I wouldn't hold a grudge against her, but I don't want to hear from her again. She said that she understood and was going to keep her distance from both me and Penelope. As for me, I have recently returned to the dating scene. I was a little lonely and thought a little fun wouldn't hurt. I have gone on a few dates and it feels nice to know that people still find me attractive. Xyler is still trying to get back with me, but that won't happen again. His friends have cursed him out and stopped contact because they think he has wronged me. Surprisingly, his friends and I sometimes hang out together since I'm still friends with their wives. They tell me how miserable Zyler is and how I did the right thing for myself by having him deal with the consequences of cheating. My life is finally getting on track, and I feel like someday I will have a loving partner who will teach me to trust and love again.